Sound System FM, entrevistando a Clinton Fearon en Barcelona el 8 de febrero de 2013. Welcome to Barcelona again.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to be here again, you know.
What do you remind of the show here last
show,
year?
How enthusiastic the audience were, you know, and how, and the vibe, there is a community vibe.
Yeah.
You know, like a community vibe, you know, and so that was excellent. It's excellent, you know.
It's not usual
Good
for us.
vibration.
For us, it's not usual to see such an artist like you, just playing with the guitar in a short distance. That vibes. It's not usual for us.
Well, you know, I don't know what to say about that. You know, for me, you know, I love people. I love nature. You know, I grew up simple. You know what I mean? And so that's the only way I can do it. Be simple, you know. And so I have no problem with people right there with me, you know. It's like, you know, it's like in your living room and friends and you're singing and playing together, you know, playing music together, you know. That's kind of vibe. I also think that sometimes, you know, if you're not careful, you know, big bands with big instrumentation and huge stage and things like that sometimes takes away from the essence, away the essence of a song, you know, the poetry of the thing. You know what I mean? I think sometimes stripping down like this, you get more out of the song than with a whole lot of people and instruments and big stage and so.
But you have to be a brave artist to defend your music, you alone on the stage.
You know, you're right.
No tricks.
You're right.
Tricks,
you don't have anyone to lean on. You know, that's the beauty of having a band. You know, boy, you slip. You know, you have a shoulder to lean on. You know what I mean? Well, by yourself, you know, it's all on you. You know, but I learned to laugh at myself first. When I mess up, I laugh at myself. You know. Human, you know, it happens, you know what I mean, and continue.
If it's so usual in Jamaica to find music playing the guitar, just singing in the countryside, in the streets, why it's so unusual to find recordings like this, acoustic recordings?
Because that's not the norm. That's not the norm. You know, everybody wanna hit it big, and so therefore, you know, the norm is to have a band, you know, and more than one of you singing, or you have a band. That's the norm. You know, with your little acoustic guitar, again, it's just round the bush, in the corner, under a tree by yourself, or in your living room and friends. That's simple, tiny. For recording, you want band, you know, and enough instrument and things like that, right. But you know, it's one of my ideas. I've been romancing that idea for a good while. You know, for doing an acoustic album. That's before I did Me and My Guitar. Right. And you know, this girl was singing with us, Soo Jin Yi from Korea, you know, and she said, Clinton, you know, I see you've done it, and I tell you what, I think it would be great if you do an acoustic album, you know. And she also said, you know, sometimes I hear you scat and it's wonderful. Do some more at that at nights, you know. Don't just, you know, go do it. You're good at it, you know. But you know, I'm not trusting myself on it, and then I did it a few times and figure and see that people really like it. And then what a system I did. I did a song, I think Never Get Burned. I think Never Get Burned.
The What a System album?
I think it's on What a System album. I can't even remember right now, but I think it's on What a System album. And so every now and then I would do that song, you know, just by myself when we do gig, you know, and people, you know, vibrate with it really good. So, you know, I decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take the idea and I'm gonna do an acoustic album, you know, because I was afraid that, you know, people wouldn't gravitate to it because it's so unusual, so unorthodox, you know. But then, you know, it's still selling, you know, not rapidly, but it's one of them that it's never stopped sell. It's never stopped sell. So, you know, when when Maca Sound folded, you know, and there was a lapse time there, a time in there. We figure, well, maybe it's a good time to do over, you know, some of those old Gladiator songs that I did, you know, because I've been encouraged to do those, you know, and I figure, you know, why not, you know, to reclaim them. But I'm always working on something new, and so therefore I never get to it, you know. But when Maca Sound folded, you know, it was, oops, abrupt there, and so, okay, all right, maybe now is a good time to do that. So that's where an art and soul, right, that's where an art and soul come by, right.
Okay, if you agree, we can make we can go back in history. Which are your first musical memories as a child in St. Catherine or Kingston?
One of them when I was about 9 years old. When about 9 years old, they had a school trip, you know, where a school trip, like excursion, you know, where all the elementary schools, you know, went to the stadium in Kingston, you know, from all over the country. The stadium was full of kids, you know, and the scatter lights were playing.
Wow.
Yeah, I was about 9 years old, you know, and you know, and them guys were young men them time, you know, and you know, dancing around and blowing and singing and having the grand time, and I said, that's what I want to do. I gotta do that, you know what I mean?
When you were 9 years old?
When I was 9, you know, and then, you know, but I used to play with little things here and there, musically still, you know, like not really knowing, you know, and then I decided that I want me a guitar. I asked my dad for a guitar, and said, boy, I don't have any money. You know, so I decided to make one. So at the age between 10 and 11, I made me one, you know, right, and played it in church, you know. They saw that I was enthusiastic about music and things. And so
your parents or any of your relatives were a musician?
My dad sang a little, you know, he sang a little. He's not around anymore. He sang a little, and he also blows what we call a mouth organ. Mouth organ, he blow that a little bit too, you know.
Harmonica?
Not a harmonica, but a mouth organ.
Mouth organ.
You know, you know about Little Richard?
Glenn Richard?
Little Richard.
Little Richard, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That kind of, you know, the two-sided. The harp, I think, is just one. Right. Well, that one have two, like two on one side and two on the other side, you know, and then like a C here and a G on the next side, you know what I mean? But anyway, he used to play one of that a little bit, so I asked him to buy one for me at the market, you know, so he got one for me. I played around with it some, you know, and, you know, kind of, you know, as I grow, I think I grow it out and want something bigger, and so that's when I made a guitar, you know, and then his friend had a real one, and they decided to sell me. So I worked with my dad, you know, and bought that guitar and went to Kingston with that one. And in the process of that time, when I get to Kingston, I meet a couple of good friends and put a group together called the Brothers.
The Brothers, your first group, yeah?
Right, and we went on for a while, and then met.
No recordings with the Brothers?
No recordings. We did auditions and things like that, but we didn't get anywhere with it. In the process of that time, I met Errol Grandison, former member of the Gladiators, who informed me that they lost a member, and he think that I would be.
You replaced David Weber?
David Weber, I replaced David Weber, right. And so the rest of it is kind of a history for 18 years.
It was 69 when you met Gladiator?
Right.
And you started doing harmonies?
Started doing harmonies for a while, and then we decided to be a self-contained group. So we decided to be not just a singing group, but also, you know, back ourselves up as well. You know, and youth was more Albert was more advanced in terms of playing the guitar, and also bass too. Albert's a good bass player, you know, but it's also difficult to sing and play bass. But he observed that I had a good bass vibe, because when we were, practicing and things like that, I would be, playing drums on my legs and humming bass lines in intervals, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, you would be a good bass player. So when we decided to be a self-contained band, we went by Coxsone and get some instruments from him, some old drums and old bass and old guitar. So I was the bass player, And then we got down and really practiced. And Albert was the guitarist and bass, Winston Carter drum, Clinton Rufus and guitar and lead guitar, and Audley Taylor and keyboard. And we were like that for a while, and then Gallimore Sutherland came in. Gallimore Sutherland.
So they just did the whole music, just
so we did
singing and music.
Singing and music, right.
Nice. And when did you start composing also?
Oh, actually, before I joined the Gladiators, Jah Almighty, I wrote that when I was in the Brothers.
Jah Almighty.
Jah Almighty.
It's an old tune, yeah.
It's an old one. And on the other side, just when I joined the Gladiators, I wrote on the other side. And the day when I don't know if you know the old version. The old version is like sound totally different from the ones now. It's because I had a cold, when I was voicing and I had a cold, and I told Coxsone, beat, I need to come back and revoice this one, and he said, no man, it's a style. It's alright, it's a style.
Yeah.
That's why it's like that, all foggy and
how was the relation with Coxsone? That the way of working with Coxsone?
It was cool. I always put him and Scratch is like this in terms of style. Scratch is here and Coxsone is here.
Scratch,
yeah. Coxsone is here. Once he heard you, like audition, and he said, "Okay, all right, come on in," and he'll go in, and sometimes you're there for several days and still don't get to record, because it's very slow. You know what I mean? In his movements, very slow. But when you get to record, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be released either. Because after that, then him spend a time listen to it and then decide if he's gonna release it or not. Scratch on the other hand, from you go in, he's summing you up and summing up the vibe and see what kind of vibe you got, and he's involving himself. Oftentimes there are plenty of singers that comes in and say, "No man, sing it a whole tone higher, man. Sing it a tone and a half higher, man. You can do it, man." And funny enough, try, "Oh man, is this too high, man? No man, go there." And funny enough, like, bam, that's where it is. That's where he's good at that. And see your vibe and figure it out and actually place you in the right direction. He was good at that. He get involved. Coxsone won't get involved, but he'll get involved. It's like two different styles. So I learn a lot from both of them. I learned a lot from both of them, right?
First of all, it was Coxsone. It was Coxsone as a producer.
First
and
was
afterwards
Coxsone.
You started working also with.
And after with Lee Perry, actually there was a time there when Gladiators wasn't doing much in terms of touring or even recording. Record for people, yes, but for Gladiators ourselves, we weren't doing much, So there was like about 6 months that way. Almost every day I'm over Scratch, and sometimes we lay 7 rhythms for the day, sometimes 10, sometimes 1. You know what I mean? It depends, and it depends on the artist who comes into. Sometimes we just go in and just lay some rhythm down. And sometimes what Scratch would do, it would drive by, pick me up, drive by down the street, see a drummer, pick him up, drive, see a keyboard player, pick him up, and that's see a guitarist, pick him up, and that's the session for the day, Instead of say, well, then I'm gonna get Chino and I'm gonna get so and so and I'm gonna get so and so, him just ride on the street and the first musician him run into, that's the one. That's the one. It was kind of nuts them way,
Was usual that?
No, not show, but for recording in the studio.
Yeah.
It was usual
usual?
Finding the musician.
It was usual to be like this.
Well, there, Kingston is small. you know, and once you go Chancellor Street or down Brentford Road, Channel 1, you know, out Waltham Park, that we used to hang out at Waltham Gladiators, and a few more musicians used to hang out at Waltham Park and Agla Park there and things like that. So he would kind of drive on some of those corners, you know, up by Halfway Tree, you know, and, you know, come on. You know, drive down my way and basic. Come. We're going to do a session. Are you ready? Yeah. yeah. But it was nuts, them kind of ways, you know. But totally, you know, clever guy. You know, people say scratch mad and things like that. I don't believe that one bit. You know, I think that thing Scratch is
super intelligent.
It's super intelligent. Super intelligent. You know, in my opinion, you know, Scratch is one of the big reasons. The vibe that Whale has, you know, you know, Scratch have a huge input in it. You know, Joe Higgs too. You know, in terms of vocals, you know, with
great artists,
great artists, you know. And so, you know, those, you know, I get to meet some Irie Blows Nard people, some people who influence me a certain way, you know, and many are because, you know, I don't go to school for the music, you know, I listen a lot, I look and I listen. And I humble, sit and get close and, you know, observe, you know what I mean, and take heed, you know what I mean. That's how, you know, because, you know, like I say, I don't go college for it, so, you know, the world is my college, you know what I mean, and my teacher is, you know, right.
The church, the studio,
all of that.
Studio,
and and I respect all of it, you know, and that's why I think, you know, I just, you know, that's one of the reasons I think I love people so much, because, you know, coming from where we're coming from in the bush, you know, it's like the first person I see, you know, is like, hey, we are friends right away, because it's another person, you know what I mean? It's like a puppy dog, you know, like a puppy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember when we were in Kingston, and then I you know, and saw people, and they said, hi to them, you know, some people like crack up at me, you know, they could tell that I'm a little country boy, you know what I mean? Right. But, you know, I have no regrets because I have some of my most profound memories, the country life. Country, you know.
Country.
Oh yeah, man. Fruits, food, people, how people talking about community and commune. You know, then turn communists into politics and things like that. And the word commune is to commune together as one people. That's what it really means. They just turn it into politics and put a bad thing to it and things like that. But nothing wrong with the word itself, what the word means.
Yeah.
You know, you know, so I learn a lot through all these little simple ways, and that's why, you know, I can't go beyond simplicity. Simplicity for me mean greatness. Yeah.
Nice. You also made some solo recordings, like Message to the Nation.
Right.
Huh? How did you?
Actually, that one is when I was working over Scratch. When I was working over Scratch, and I get a little time from Scratch.
Yeah.
And it was, I can't remember which drummer it was.
The drummer.
Right. But there was a, you know, but I wrote that song and had it with me. But the recording of it is actually, what's his name, play guitar on. Bunny Ruggs.
Yeah.
Bunny Ruggs play rhythm. Play rhythm guitar on it. Guy was at studio the day, and you know, I play bass. I play the lead guitar on it. There's a lead thing on it that I play. I can't remember who did the drum, but it's very, very simple. It's just three of us, you know, the day, you know. Yeah, and that's so. And then I had a little idea for a label called Sky Eye, and then the Sky Eye label.
Just an idea.
Just an idea. So, you know, for the label. So I said, you know, I wanted to be on this, call this label the Sky High label. But I figure, well, you know, that's too much for me alone to handle. So I have this brethren, I can't remember his name. Now everybody call him Sky High. You know, I mean, you tour around quite a lot with the Marley families and things like that. Right. Name Sky High, you know. But anyway, you know, that's how him get him name, you know, because, you know, my vibe, the vibe was for him to, I make the music and him sells it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, we come up with the idea and, you know, and the Sky High label. The song didn't even master. Because at that time I didn't even have the knowledge about mastering and things like that. Carry the thing or press it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I worked my little record shop downtown, you know, and the song on the Sky High label, you know, but it didn't get too far. It didn't get too far. Like I said, it was very improper, you know what I mean, and things like that. But that was a first step towards doing my own, doing something for myself, you know. Right. It's funny one, you come with that one.
How was the way of working with Gladiators? It was originally an idea from Albert Griffiths, or you put together your different ideas?
No one then will put together ideas, you know, ideas together. A lot of the harmonies, you know, I have a lot of input in the harmonies, you know. The song itself, like writing the songs, Albert do most of them, you know. I would come in most times, but actually Prince Tony was the one who encouraged Albert to have me do some songs, you know. For difference, you know, for a different vibe. When I did on the other side, Jah Almighty. Because when I joined Gladiators, you know, my vibe was all of us sing. But I didn't know that wasn't the intention. You understand what I mean? So I'm coming in free and yeah. And Albert let me did Jah Almighty. And on the other side, and then it paused. You know, for whatever reason it paused, and it didn't do anymore for a good while. And then Prince Tony Robinson, you know, right? You know, kind of enforced that vibe that I did some, you know. And then after that too, right. So, but because of all that, I had. Still, until we have about 40 odd songs, if not 50 songs that are written from back then, that still on cassette. And the other day, a few years ago, I, you know, run into the cassettes. Oh shoot! And playing the cassette and them kind of funky as cassette kind of mash up. So quickly run them off and CD.
You mean recorded songs or just written songs? Just
written songs recorded with my guitar.
Just
you know,
with the guitar.
That's my guitar.
Wow.
Right, but you know,
stuff.
Some good stuff. I need to go through them, but I always writing new stuff, so it's kind of hard to go back. You know what I mean? Right.
Wow. And you also worked with other producers like Yabiyu? As a bass player?
Yeah, right.
Also singing or just...
Actually, I did a song for Yabiyu and King Sound. I said, he did not throw them sprat, fi catch a whale. He did not throw them sprat, fi catch a whale. Well, down, upon the rock, the solid rock. I can't remember it right now, but you know, and they took the vocal out and keep the rhythm and make a dub out of the rhythm until I was a little bit cut up about that, like man, you know. But then I understand that they release it later on and have what's his name? So used to sing for Yabiyu too. They have him on there as the singer, which. Michael Prophet.
Michael Prophet.
Michael Prophet and the other guy. I said to myself, you know, so many things goes wrong earlier on. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, but you know, I just love the music and not paying attention to the business part of it. You know what I mean? So I didn't protect myself in those ways. I just want to play music.
So you are not happy of the business part of
the business part of music
moment.
sucks. Up until today, the business of music, for some reason, they don't go together. Music and business do not go together, but you still have to do business to survive.
Yeah, you have to
You
sell the
understand
music.
what I mean? Right. But the business sucks, man. If I have money, all right, I'm good. I just do music for free.
Yeah.
It will be less trouble, less pain. Hey, you can really jam and have fun. You can
Not
really
as
have
a work,
fun.
but as a pleasure.
Just a pleasure.
Yeah.
But sometimes you find yourself working because you have to be thinking, what Tom is doing, what Harry is doing, what Jane is doing. You know what I mean? And unless you have somebody firm to take care of those parts for you, you have to think. And it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. It doesn't go with the music. Yeah.
And why did you left Gladiators?
Say this again?
Why did you left Gladiators?
It's like a hen and chicken, I think I was grown up, grew up enough, scratch on my own. I wasn't satisfied with how things were going. Like I said, it started out as Gladiators, then it changed to Albert Griffiths and the Gladiators, and not just the name change, but the attitude change as well, and too much disrespect. Everything going there, nothing coming here for musicians, everything going there, nothing coming here, and I figure, well, I don't want to finish my life that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna, step out and help myself.
Do your own way.
Do my own, do my own.
It was around 89? 89 or?
Actually, I left the group in 87. I left the group, I think, is in 84, 85. And then Night Hawk and Albert too and some others, man, you need it, man, you need to come. Okay, all right. But when we went and shortly after that, we did that, and then next record, and then went on tour, and it was worse than before. So I figure, it's not gonna get better. It's not gonna get better. After I left, I actually hoped that it would. Sad to say, it still didn't get better. Nobody have nothing out of Gladiators. Basically, so in my opinion, I think it's a good thing that I did leave. But I wish the group well. And I wish Albert well too. Like I said, I have a lot of respect still. I learn a lot. I learned a lot being in Gladiators for those 18 years. I learned a whole bunch. From Gladiators and to the people I met because of Gladiators.
Musicians, producers.
Right, because I don't know where I would be today if it wasn't, if I didn't meet Gladiators.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I would be different, but that's just pure speculation. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
So I give thanks for the experience that I get over there, and I try to dwell on the good experiences. You know what I mean? The good experiences, I more try to focus on that.
Yes. And you started out your own project, which was called The Defenders?
Well, Defenders wasn't my own project. Defenders actually is like a subsidiary of Gladiators, because it's only Albert and Gallimore Sutherland that wasn't in it. All the rest was in it. Winston Carty was in it, Clinton Rufus was in it, myself, keyboard Audley Taylor came by for a minute, then he left, but Tarzan, Errol Nelson, Tarzan, he toured with us then, and he stopped off in somewhere in Aston or somewhere there, and came up and was there with us too as well, And the idea, because Gladiators was so controlled and things like that, the idea was, hey, we all do it together, not just one person. We all do it together. The bad thing, we went far left, You know, how I always place defenders is like a strong, bad lion going down the road without any head. You know what I mean? Right. And so because of that, it didn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and some people do too much work, and you're getting the same. Everybody get the same money. None didn't set aside to take care of projects and things like that because everybody want to put theirs in their pocket. You know what I mean? Right. And so it just fall apart. Then after that, that's when I put Boogie Brown together.
Boogie Brown Band.
Boogie Brown Band, yeah.
Was in the USA?
In the US, you know. And that's going now for like 18 plus years. Yeah.
So you still are recording and working with Boogie Brown Band?
Yeah. I have 3 projects going right now.
3 projects?
Well, you know, me and my guitar, just me and my guitar.
Nice.
And we have Clinton Fearon and Friends, you know, and Clinton Fearon and Boogie Brown.
Yeah.
You know.
What is Clinton Fearon and Friends? What can you tell us about
Friends?
that?
You know, it could be you, it could be she, it could
nice.
be, you know. This year, now it's Clinton Rufus. I'm coming. It's Clinton Rufus, Mark from Gladiators, Mark Oy of Boogie Brown, and a percussionist from Jamaica, you know, Chris. You know, I haven't even met him yet, but you know, I understand he's a very good percussionist. So you know, that's the thing for this summer coming. For this summer coming, we're doing a tour, you know, to also to continue promote art and soul. Right. And then next year, you know, starting the spring of next year, we'll be Clinton Fearon and Boogie Brown for the new album coming. Because there's a new album coming with a band album.
Will you come to Spain?
Man,
with the Boogie Brown Band?
Invite us and we'll be here. Talk with Alex.
I'll talk with him, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to get the band here. I would really love to get the band here, you know. I'd love to get the band here. I'm quite sure they would love it. I'm quite sure the audience would love it too.
Okay, you've been working for several decades in Jamaica and outside Jamaica. Perhaps you could tell us why the vibes are so different in 60s and 70s than today. Today the vibes are perhaps a bit angry, a bit...
you know, I think that earlier on, you know, musicians were musicians, singers were singers, you know, even DJs, you know, got some heart and soul into the thing. You know, they were complementing the rhythms and the songs that already there, you know, so they are involved. You know, musicians involved. You practice your instrument, you play it, you have a relationship with your instrument. Today you just use a computer to do it. So there's no blood. There's no blood invested in it. So it's easy to do any old thing and you don't care, you know, man, fuck you, because there's nothing invested. You know what I mean? And I hope that it will go back to that. You know, I hope that, and I think, you know, it's like clothing. You know, I think it will though. The cycle. I think it will go back to it.
You think roots reggae is coming?
Well, it never go anywhere really.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I know.
Yeah, it never really go anywhere. It might take a little back seat a little bit, you know, but underneath there, that's what keep the gum of the whole thing going still. If there's no roots reggae, then reggae done. You know, but it's never really gone. It's just for it to be recognized again certain way, and you know, and also I think that, you know, the upper cats them a little bit afraid of, you know, certain conscious lyrics and things like that, and especially if it's coming from a peaceful behavior, and families start to look into it from a political point of view, like, you know what, this woman or this man is really saying something here. Let's think about it. You know, hey, yeah, let's do something about it. Governments don't like that, because then that's kind of like going against the grid. You know what I mean? With dancehall and things like that, where they know it's born today, die tomorrow. You know, it's no threat to them. You understand what I mean? It's no threat to them. And they easily can just wipe it off as, oh, that's, that's rubbish music, So, right. And families will say the same thing because they don't want them kids to come up and do that, So considering that, it's no threat. But if you're coming up and really touching points like, the injustices in the world, you know what I mean, and how the marketplace and the businesses and the Food and Drug Administration, how them been treated, how them treat teachers and nurses and so forth. Doctors can't do them work because of blah blah, etc. So touch on points, how the politicians run away with the money. And really trying to educate people as to what's going on in the political arena. They do not like that. And from the root side of the thing, that's why we talk about. Yeah, we talk about love too, but not in a derogatory way. You understand what I mean? It's more like in a fun way. I recognize there's a bitter side, but there is a sweet side too. You know what I mean? That part bugged them a little bit. Right.
Because
at least that's my
perhaps you want to drink a little.
Thank you.
I was telling you that even the so-called conscious music nowadays, it seems it's a thing of repeating Selassie, Selassie, Selassie. The lyrics have no message. No.
I know what you mean.
Something changed. What happened?
Again, like I said, it's the gut of the thing. I remember when I was going to school, when I was 10, like a man named Ram living in the neighborhood. I remember go to school, and at the age of 10, he built me a little spliff about this long, and tiny.
Spliff?
And he lit it for me, and he said, "Take a puff, man." Yeah. All right, that's enough. All right, go on to school and we'll learn of Babylon so you don't become Babylon, my son. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a different vibe from how Rastas look at Rastas today, at Rasta today, in my opinion.
Different.
You know what I mean? It's a certain lesson. Say, well then, hey, do not go to school because, all them I teach you is Babylon. The vibe back then, how I know it, because there was still some in Kingston that even more rebellious and things like that. Oh, and teach them kids at home because the world is Babylon and things like that and so forth and so forth. The teaching I get from that brethren, who I look upon as a real Rasta man, is that, hey, go on man, go on, go learn. When you learn, when you know Babylon, then you know how to deal with Babylon. You know what I mean? That was his take on it. So I look at it, and at the time, barely but grasping what he's talking about. But the more I grow and I move to Kingston and see certain things, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what Brother Ram did I deal with. Yeah, I understand it now. And then growing up in the country too, and my dad, and like with nature and things like that, and see how the difference. So, okay. And I also learned quickly that it's not the hair on the head, that makes one be Rasta. It's the heart. It's how your mind, body, and spirit, how centered you are, and how much you envelop nature and allow nature to envelop you. Including all people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just one set of people, but all people. That's how I know it. But because the thing becomes so much fashion and thing like that, I don't go around and preach Rasta. I'm a Rasta man in my own little rights.
Because you don't seem to Selassie. You talk about love, consciousness.
Well, that lead you right on to whatever, because I think righteousness, and God, it's hard to explain God. In my opinion, it's hard to explain God. Like one man said, well, why? Show me Buddha and I tell you he's a liar. It's like, God is it's within, and you feel that vibe or not, and you live the life to feel that vibe. And when you feel that vibe, you can't explain it. You can only point someone to the light and let the one see the light themselves. You understand what I mean? Right. And it doesn't matter whether you're coming to Buddha, or you're coming to Allah, or you're coming to Jesus Christ, or you're coming to Selassie, or you're coming to whatever denomination you're coming through. Once you see the light, that's it. And it's unexplainable, my brother.
So you're talking,
in my opinion.
You are talking about spirituality, not religion?
Well, spirituality is the biggest one. Religion come the other day. Religion is just the other day, you know what I mean? But again, that's my philosophy, you know what I mean? Like, you know, right,
sure.
So I'm still learning, so, you know.
Your main objective is to spread that spirituality?
To spread spirituality, man. Make sure we take care of the spirit. And that's why I always try to point to people, that, you know, hey, man, try and love yourself. Love what you do what you love, because in that way, you know, when you love what you do and do what you love, it's a 50-50. You eventually love yourself because you feel your sense of worth, and you can look people in the eyes and be like, hey, how you doing? It no matter if they want to have $1 million and you don't have $1, you know, but you feel good making camera because you know, and you're working good to make camera, you make a damn good camera, and I'm proud, you know, even if you're not getting a little bit for your camera, you know what I mean? But you feel good, you know, and then you find you realize that, hey, you know, she's beautiful, he's beautiful, everything's beautiful, everything is beautiful. When you're angry and bitter, all things ugly. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing when you can wake up, man, and smile, whether you're broke or have money or don't have money, and you can smile because you're inside, you know. And I think, again, bottom line again, I think you talk about religion, spirituality lead you to contentment, you know, peace of mind. And I think all of us, that's the goal. That's the goal. You know, Christianity, all of that, Buddha, you know, Rasta, you know, all peace of mind is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal. At the end of the day,
it's a practical thing.
Not
practical thing to live in happiness.
It is. So you find God within, and you try to spread it. You try to spread it without preaching it. You try to spread it spiritually and let one see the light, feel and see the light, you know. You know, and let another person spread that same light, and before you know it, Barcelona is wonderful people. That's my philosophy, you know what I mean?
So we give thanks for your philosophy, for your music, for your time now for us. Can you tell any other thing for our listeners? Can you
same thing that I always say, man. You know, if you're not doing what you love, it's not too late to start. You know, you can start right now. Find something that you love. If you can't, even because of the academic world, you get so busy and things like that. At least if it's even an hour out of a day out of a week, you know what I mean, a day out of a month, if no more, you know, just do what you love, do it.
I love what you do.
And love what you do, and then the more you do it, is the more you realize, oh, you know what, I need to do this some more, you know.
Right. Okay, Clinton Fearon. Finally, if possible, could we have a few jingle for our listeners? We are Sound System FM. Reggae radio show,
Okay.
Sound System FM.
Yeah, and what's your name?
Well, my name.
Okay.
Well,
Not, you don't want
not
to
important. We are Sound System FM.
Sound System FM.
Yeah.
Sound System FM. Yeah. It's Clinton Fearon. Right here in the house, you know, with Sound System FM crew. Big up. Do what you love. Love what you do. Do what you do with love from the bottom of your heart. Let the vibe spread. Jah guide and protect. One heart.